All right, and we are live. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 228. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
Not much. Just hanging out, getting ready for Turkey Day. I can't believe it's next week already.
Dude, this fall has flown by. Like you mentioned, it's almost Thanksgiving.
I was arguing with my wife the other day. I was like, it's not Thanksgiving next week. She's like, no, it's next week. I'm like, we got like 2-3 weeks. Nope. Next week.
Not so much. That time is gone.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today, I dropped my skis off to get them tuned and ready for the season. And I think it was 2 weeks ago I did that. And I haven't picked them up yet. And I'm realizing that I better do it because what if COVID just, I know that it's starting to get hot again here, hot in terms of the number of COVID cases. I better get my goddamn skis because imagine if they just shut that place down.
And then they have like powder.
And they have my skis.
Never skis, and you can't get out.
Granted, I would buy new skis, like 3 pairs. I would find a way to ski, but you know what? I don't really want to do that right now.
Yeah, that's only if you can get into the ski shop. They might all be closed.
Might all be closed. I'll order them online then. Have them express shipped. Dude, I bought a pair a couple of years ago. I bought them. It was cheaper to buy them from France, have them shipped over, than it was to buy them here in the States. So
wow, that's European delivery, right?
Dude, that included delivery to the U.S.
Damn.
Yes, I'll find a way. But that being said, I would rather just go to the shop, pick them up, and have them be ready to go. Because snow is falling, resorts are opening, ski season is underway. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate, subscribe. There's too many to name. Just keep adding new ones to it. You know where to go. iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, blah, blah, blah. We have a cool shop on our website, skibumpodcast.com/shop. You could get this dope sweatshirt, that dope t-shirt. We got hats. We got stickers. Lots of sweatshirts. It's getting... That hat is actually limited edition and is not on the site. So
I know. The other hat.
So sorry. But we do have all kinds of other cool stuff on there. They've been selling pretty well. Holidays are coming up. We may have a Black Friday sale. I don't know. I guess you have to wait and see. You'll have to go to skibumpodcast.com/shop to find out. If you want to help us out, we can always use a little bit of help. Donations. There's a support section on the site too. skibumpodcast.com.
We're supportable.
Support. We're very supportable. We have a few people who are giving us monthly donations to PayPal. We are greatly, greatly appreciative of that. Thank you so much.
Keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on. Some things going on behind the scenes. Hopefully, we won't have to beg as much, but we will see. If you want to send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. We'll send you out stickers. Hit us up. Let us know you want them. Do it through email or DM us on Instagram. Those are the best ways. Thank you again so much for listening. Mario, let's kick it off the way we always do. Après today. What do you got there, sir?
So today I have one of my beers from the Beer of the Month Club. And it's funny, when they canned this, they actually had a note in the package. Now, I get a case, so there's 4 different beers, 2 from the same brewery, but 2 different breweries. And this one came, and they had a note in there apologizing for the labeling, but they said due to COVID and the fact that they were just selling out of everything, that they ran out of cans. So
people just using COVID for every goddamn excuse right now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people are just fucking drinking like crazy in COVID. So
unfortunately, that is definitely a fact.
So if you look at this, so the name of it is Oktoberfest. It's an Oktoberfest beer from the folks at Brickway Brewing Company.
And what month is it?
It is. It's
the
like
end of November.
I know. So
isn't Oktoberfest in September?
It's really 2 months overdue because it should be September. So they were obviously clearing this out, and they put it in a different can. But then they had to put a label, a paper label around the can. So if you see the can, it's like they have the green from the can, and then this is the blue from the label. But it's blue and orange. I kind of like the little color scheme. So
they basically got their printer out and just bought some labels and staples, printed that, slapped it on there.
We're making some money. Let's bust them out.
That's some homebrew stuff right there.
Oh yeah. So this is Omaha's very own Brickway Brewing Company. So this is from Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha. Okay.
Omaha. That's where I
was gonna have a Coors Light, but Omaha. Boom. Oktoberfest.
There's a sound of that. All right, smells like a. This is a Marzen style beer, so it's not a pilsner. It's
that was a ruckus open there. It's like a lot of carbonation.
Yeah.
Very fresh.
I think it was a very sturdy can, honestly.
Reinforced.
Yeah. Now I'm having this out of my lovely Tabasco mug. This is the Bloody Mary mug of Champions. So nice head on it. Pretty good head, about an inch, right? Inch of head. Usually,
insert joke here, folks.
I usually give a lot more head than that.
Are we really going there?
Just saying. That's just the tip right there.
Just the tip.
But yeah, nice nice clear dark color, amberish. Really good color.
Do you want your tip in Tabasco? I mean, that's really not good for anybody.
Oh yeah, that's not good for anybody.
That's not good for business.
The beer's pretty good. It has a little. It's sweet but bitter at the same time.
Switter.
It's switter. So bubbles are going away pretty quickly, but I gotta say it's a solid showing from them. I give this, a lot of the ratings I saw on Untapped were about out of 5, like a 3.5 or so, and I think I'm giving this about a 3.5. It's it's all right. It's good. Not gonna run out to Omaha to grab a case of this or ask somebody to send me some, but if you're in Omaha and this is what they have, Brickway's a way to go.
If you're an alcoholic, nothing better to drink.
That's right.
It's on sale.
You're on a business trip and you're out in Omaha, eat some steak, and I guess you probably drink some wine with it rather than this. Let's put it that way.
I honestly feel like you're being generous with that 3.5.
Yeah.
You don't seem like you're enjoying. You see, I'm just looking at, like, if you were being honest, like a 2.7.
I'm a very hard judge because I either really like something or I'm like, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this. But then again, Marzen style beers are not my thing. Like, I'll be okay with Pilsners, but Marzens I never liked too much. It's something in the style, I think. So I think it's more the style, not the beer, getting me.
Like the maltiness, you think?
Yeah, and you know what? That, like I said, it's like sweet but bitter. Like all the Marzens have it. So it's the Marzen style. I'm just not a fan of.
I feel like Marzens are better with food. Like if you're having, like pretzels or sausages or something, you need they go well with food. But like on their own, they're just kind of like they are what they are.
This would be good with mustard, and the pretzel and the bratwurst. Like
exactly.
I could see that. Maybe a little colder than I have it because then I didn't chill it that long. Yeah, I could see that. But what do they make at Oktoberfest? Is that a Marzen style?
Yeah, that's the Oktoberfest style.
Yeah. So
again, that's why the kind of food you get at Oktoberfest makes sense because it matches up with that style of beer.
Well, after you fucking guzzle about 3 gallons of it, you're like, this stuff tastes pretty good.
You're like, I need like 6 pretzels now, otherwise I'm gonna die.
I practically had to carry Melanie like back to the hotel that night. It was a wild display, and I gotta say, she held her own. She drank almost 3 liters. I think it was about 2.5 liters.
Wow.
She's got to be just like, I don't know, 1 million pounds like lighter than me. She's like 5'2". She weighs nothing.
Hollow leg.
Yeah, and I did like 3 and almost passed out, but that was also on like 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, but
you want to go to the archives? We have that episode. of Mario and Melanie's 24-hour adventure to Oktoberfest.
It was 22 hours, I think.
22 hours.
I was trying to add up. I was like, shit, we were 22 hours. You're getting out.
In and out.
Damn.
In and out.
Whew.
Nice.
All right, what do you got, buddy?
So I had a meetup with a friend of ours, friend of the podcast, our friend John, and he was kind enough on one of his most recent trips to the lovely Green Mountain state of Vermont, which he, of course, quarantined properly before going to.
Nice.
Little callback to our episode 227 last week with our friend Adam from Ski Vermont. He picked up some beers for me. And I am on the record talking about...
Did you quarantine those beers for 14 days?
The beers have been quarantined for 14 minutes before drinking, which is pretty much close enough.
Were they thoroughly washed in a
bleach bath?
In a high bleach, hand sanitizer all over it.
Sanitized. That's what enhances the flavor.
There you go.
I've gone on record talking about my love of the Burlington Beer Company, and I have to tell you, it could be my favorite brewery. Like the fact, like their beers are just so goddamn good.
Nice.
This one is definitely up there as well. I think I may have gone on record in January saying Beekeeper is my favorite, is my beer of the year, and that was in January.
Well, and then you had something that was like it last week, right?
Well, I had one from Kane.
Oh.
So apparently Honey IPAs are very hot this season.
Yeah.
Because the one from Kane was an Imperial Honey IPA. This one is called Fistful of Bees, and it is a honey triple IPA.
Wow.
I mean,
so that's the triple version of the one you had from there.
I guess so. I think it's a little bit different.
Huh.
You know, once you get into the triple level of IPAs, you start getting that. You start getting that. I don't know if it's heat or bitterness, or there's something you get when you get really like that much hops into one of these.
Have you ever had a quad or what is it, a quint?
The Belgian ones, you mean?
Yeah. Have you ever had any of those? I had two of them on draft. So they had a single, double, triple, quad, and a quint of all of them. So you could do like the whole flight of them.
Well, I will tell you. So I'm probably jumping the shark to another future episode, but I have another beer from them. Read what this is. A sextuple dry hopped triple IPA.
There you go.
This is pure madness right here. Like it's becoming madness. Like it's been madness for a while, but it's COVID-19 YOLO madness at this point. Like we're just like, everyone's just throwing a bunch of shit. Like, hey, 2 is good. How about 4? You know, it's like, did you see they announced this week that they're having a V8 Jeep Wrangler? They're like, you know what? The thing's a brick.
Fuck it.
Let's find a way to make it go 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which used to be like Porsche 911 numbers in the 90s. Like everything is becoming just madness.
Next year it's going to have 2 V8s.
One in the front, one in the back. Well, just make it fly at that point. Just make a goddamn flying Jeep Wrangler. Why not? Right?
Why not? And the year after that, the space one comes out. It's got
there's like the wormhole Wrangler. You just kind of like wormhole to wherever you want to go. And
then there's the one that's like a ghost. You don't even know it's there. Did I really buy a Wrangler? No, you paid for one.
So I digress. They're just going. We're just pushing.
So like, I brought that up because the comment I wanted to make on that was, if you have them, they get more and more like funkier and like heavier and just boozier, right? Like I actually thought one was like cheese and alcohol. Like it was just kind of just the flavors changed.
Cheese.
Because it was the same one that went up to like a centuple or what, a quint or something like whatever that is. Is that the 5?
Quint would be 5, and then would hex be 6?
Hex. I haven't seen a hex. I think I did the.
Actually, no. What's it? One is one language, one is another. Yeah, I think because I'm thinking
I don't
like
even know.
Hexagon, pentagon, octagon. I don't
know. Pentagram. Centigram. I don't know. But anyway, so it's starting to get to that booziness, that taste where you're like, oh, it's getting too boozy. It brushes up against that,
but it doesn't cross over that line. It's getting to the point where it's getting almost too boozy, too bitter. But then you get that honey flavor that like honey kind of like helps dial it back. It's almost like, you know, like Jurassic Park, how the amber, they talk about how the amber trapped that bug and the bug had all the, or the fly and it had all the blood from the dinosaurs, blah, blah, blah. It's almost like the booziness is going and that honey kind of like just grabs it and slows it down.
Huh.
It's a really tasty beer. It doesn't, you're not getting like hit with this like big waft of painful hops. It's just like a little bit of bitter, then it pulled back with the smooth honey.
Did you just say waft?
Waft.
You said waft.
I don't know how to spell it, but I said waft.
That's like Stewie. Waft.
Yeah.
Waft.
Cool whip.
Cool whip. So in like the range of like, we love the Dogfish 120, right? Now, that has the 60, the 90, the 75. Well, they have the 60, 75, 90. Do they have an 80?
They throw some weird ones in there too, like an 81.
Yeah. And then they have the 90s, the big one, and then the 120. Mm-hmm. So when you get up to the 120, that's almost like a triple, right? Like,
it's got to be at least, yeah.
It tastes like a triple or a quad or something. So how does it compare to that?
I haven't had one of those in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I'm sure my palate has refined itself.
Like that's that line of the booziness. Like that's what I remember from that.
Yeah.
And then I blacked out every time.
It's just what happens. Yeah, it's not quite that boozy. Again, this is an 11% beer. Like this is a heavy duty beer.
Good one, yeah.
But again, they have a great balance to their beer. So it's got again the bitterness, the hoppiness, just getting to that line, and then honey kind of pulls it back in.
Nice.
And you really taste the honey in this. Like it tastes like fresh honey, like a little bit of that. It's really good.
And that's Burlington Brewing?
Burlington Beer Company. Mad scientists, geniuses. I'm sure they have the fucking COVID vaccine in one of their beers and don't even know it yet. That's how brilliant they are at what they're making.
So if I quarantine, fly up there, go to Burlington and fly into Burlington, stay there, and just get a shit ton of their beer, how much do you think I could send back? Is it legal? It's legal to ship it, right?
I think so. Who can stop you?
Nobody.
Exactly.
I think I could take that on the plane.
Why doesn't Vermont just set up like quarantine yurts all over the place? Like just have like beer deliveries going to these quarantine yurts and you can just hang out there for 14 days, drink your beers, and then go do your thing.
Dude, just walk around in a fucking Tesla spacesuit and then just get to your hotel room and just drink your beer.
Yeah. That
works.
So again, this is so good. I'm giving this like a 4.3 out of 5. This is
nice.
This is solid. I might even go 4.4. You know what? Screw it. 4.4. We're doing
4.4.
Really nice. Again, I gotta revisit the Beekeeper. I think I have one more floating around because it's getting towards the end of the year, and we're gonna have to make our blank of the year selections. And we have to pick a tasty libation for that beer of the year.
Nice.
We should have an award ceremony like the week before Christmas
in Burlington.
How about an Alpe d'Huez in France? Why don't we go big? How about the top of the Matterhorn?
Top of the Matterhorn.
We'll just staple a yurt to the Matterhorn, and we'll have a big party up there.
Yeah,
What's the biggest stapler they make?
No, fuck that. We just cut the top of that thing off, make it nice and flat, and then plop a yurt on there. Like, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're cutting the top of the Matterhorn off.
What are you guys doing? None of your goddamn business.
With a cigar. None of your goddamn business.
We're sphinxing the shit out of the Matterhorn.
Can you imagine you cut the top of that little Matterhorn off? Like, what's the big deal? You're like, you ruined the freaking image that's been iconic.
You know who's freaking out? Toblerone. But we got to change our whole goddamn chocolate mold system.
Oh, that's what we got to do is we got to patent the yurt image on top of stuff so that when Toblerone tries to change and put the yurt on top, like you got to pay us every bar.
How about even better? We make our yurt the shape of the tip of the Matterhorn, then no one's going to even know we're there.
No, they're like, it seems to be glowing now.
Something's different.
I hear music every once in a while, but...
Think about that. But like we can hollow out. So instead of building up, we build down. We can keep going down and hollowing out the Matterhorn. to
All
like
right.
create all of
So
our
we get some
rooms and
Blackhawk,
chambers.
drop us down with some tools, and we just carve out of entire stone a whole big lair, like a big baller party place.
We
We'll
do
carve a
it.
hot tub
We
out of
do
solid
it
rock.
inside the Matterhorn. No one's gonna know.
That's right.
Who's gonna know?
Nobody's gonna know.
We bring in the boring company, the drills, everything at night.
Yep.
We cut off the top. We cut a hole down. We start drilling. No one even knows we're there.
We can even drill from the bottom.
That's a little harder to do. I think cutting the tip off is probably easier.
Yeah, I don't want to wait for people to get to us. I just you got to fly in or. Well, I think they would notice when we have the chopper on top of the Matterhorn. Like, how's that chopper get up there? I think there's people living up there.
They're not even going to know. We're going to be so stealth about it.
That's right. We'll have an invisible chopper.
I probably should delete this because I don't want people knowing what we're going to be doing.
That's right. Wow, plexiglass chopper. Just all clear. You don't even know if we're moving around.
YOLO copter. It's going to be clear.
All right, so speaking of the holidays, we got a lot of stuff coming up, and
if you're not too busy cutting off the tip of a mountain,
I wrote that down, and I started making drawings too. So that one's dangerous.
Sketches. We know some architects. We can make this happen.
That's right. We had an architect that we know right where he lives. So if anybody doesn't realize, which I just mentioned, I freaked out and realized that Thanksgiving's next week. So whenever you're listening to this might be on your way to your Thanksgiving or after your Thanksgiving or just listening to a podcast to drown out friends and family at Thanksgiving. You might want to read this before the holiday comes. So toast the holidays with these 5 festive cocktails you can make at home. So if you're really bored, why not make some nice fancy cocktails and get a little bombed?
Or also advice for this upcoming ski season. If you're going to be having an après in your car, make these ahead of time, throw them in your thermos, and drink them on the way back home. Tell the cop it's coffee.
Always coffee.
That is not advice from us. That is not legally binding. We are morons. None of this that we say should be actually done in real life.
Damn, I like the ski momo. All right, so these cocktails, they got the Fireside Sangria. So nice. We'll put the link on there so you can get the recipe. But this is it's like a winter sangria. Grand Marnier. There's some weird stuff in here. There's red vermouth, red blood orange juice. So
once I see more than 3 ingredients, my the hair on the back of my neck stands up. I'm like, this is getting way too complicated. But it's the holidays. If you're gonna do it, the holidays is the time. As we've talked about in the past, our favorite go-to winter après drinks, Jaeger tea and Glühwein, they require a few ingredients, and they're worth it.
Yeah. And it's almost that time to make it. It
is.
Just saying. So yeah, Fireside Sangria is pretty good. It's like a little warm weather sangria. I like making a cocktail to start, and then I'm like, I'm not making any more. I spend a lot of time making the first cocktail, maybe second. And then I'm like, all right, everybody's drinking fucking beer or wine. How about that?
Well, that's why you make a bucket of it.
That's true too. Here's another bucket.
What's the recipe? We're going to put a 0 at the end of every ingredient. Just jack it up, right?
Jack it up. All right, then the next is chocolate punch. This actually looks good. It looks like they're serving it like a martini glass with a little chocolate powder on top.
Would you ever make this?
No, you know what? But it's interesting because.
But I respect that somebody would.
But the first 2 ingredients, cognac and ruby port. I'm like, now I'm really fucking interested. That's pretty interesting. Simple syrup and heavy cream. I'm like, you have heavy cream in a thing. You gotta try it once.
Cream de cacao. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. That's one of those things you find in your closet you bought 20 years ago. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's still there.
Still good.
Does it go bad?
Yeah, does cream de cacao go bad?
I've actually had to look. I had when moving, of course, you're like, holy shit, this creme de menthe that used 1 teaspoon for some stupid recipe way back when you were making a fancy cocktail. And you're like, it's 10 years later, and you're actually asking the question, is this any good still? It's like,
Is that one green? Cream
yeah,
mint? It is, right?
yeah. You're like, do I really want to keep this? And you're like, yeah, if I didn't drink it in 10 years, you're probably never going to drink it.
Oh, no, for sure.
Just let it go, bite the bullet, get one of those mini airplane bottles.
The shooter size, yeah.
I actually got 2 Tito's airplane bottles just this week while on a Zoom call. And I made salt and pepper shaker out of them. So
look at you.
I got little baby Tito's like running around. They're great.
You're like goddamn Martha Stewart over here.
Yeah, damn. Watch a lot of DIY stuff. All right,
or you can get a full-size handle of Tito's, make really big salt and pepper shakers.
That'd be fucking like, hey, you want some salt? Oh, like the pepper grinder. Just get a big Tito's. Like, do you want some? Boom. All right, the next one is Pastis Goes Pop. I have no idea what this means, but
I don't know what pasties is. Let's say pasties. I'm like, okay.
Pastis, whatever it is.
Cream de cassis, like, oof.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff with the bubbly, but they layered in almost that it looks like a bomb pop or something like that, right?
Yeah. It does look kind of cool.
Very cool, very fancy. Hey, if you want to impress like friends and relatives, you break out one of these drinks and they're like, holy shit, you know what you're doing. Next one is probably for the day. Well, actually, so the day before Thanksgiving is classically the biggest day for people to go out, right? So
not this year.
Not this year. So if you did get like a real hangover going on the morning of Thanksgiving, when either you have to go travel to somebody's house or start cooking and hosting, why not a Bloody Mary, right? So this is an aquavit Bloody Mary. Now I don't think I've ever had aquavit.
I actually have a bottle of aquavit upstairs.
Have you drank any of it?
Yes. Now I have
What is
mentioned
aquavit?
Well, we've mentioned it on the podcast before. My father-in-law lives in Norway. So no, it's like a Scandinavian thing, this aquavit. This article even talks about it. It's a grain or potato distilled aperitif, often associated with Scandinavia and often flavored with caraway and or dill.
Caraway and dill. So not really like
it's
bitter,
sort of like
along that realm,
it's
right?
like ginish, I guess.
Very herby.
Yeah, sort of like you took like rye bread and like dipped it in gin.
See, these are the liquors that I love because these are created a long time ago and they're usually very regional.
Do you want me to go get it and taste it?
Yeah.
If you keep reading this article, I'll go get my aquavit. Okay.
All right.
I goddamn have it. This is all on the fly, baby.
You get your aquavit now. Run, Forrest, run. All right, Brian's gonna go run and get his aquavit. I wanna hear how this goes. But anyway, so let's go through. The next one is the Pomegranate Gimlets. Now, I'm a big gimlet fan. I'm pro gimlet. I often like to make a few gin gimlets with fresh lime. You can't use that roses shit. Don't use, roses is great for the for some things, but it's not good for a gimlet. So this is a pomegranate gimlet, basically similar to a gimlet with some pomegranate juice. And of course they add simple syrup. I don't add simple syrup. Juice is sweet enough for me. Make sure you garnish, put it in a nice martini glass. Looks very tasty. And that rounds up I think that was the fifth one. So I may keep these recipes and break them out during the holiday to impress, wow, and amaze, dazzle and amaze some people. So if you have any other suggestions, you can write to us, skibonpodcast.com. You can find our contact information or contact@skibonpodcast.com. But to have a good cocktail in your pocket is good. So it looks like Brian's back now. Oh, he's setting up.
Just need a little cup.
A cup?
So I have over
You
here
have to drink it from the bottle? Ooh. Mr. Fancy.
I couldn't find a cup,
Oh,
but I did find my Shotski.
nice.
So I'll just have to drink it out of this. So here we go.
Just have to do it. All right. So did you open that already?
Yes, it has been opened.
Ah.
So this is exotic aquavit made in Philadelphia.
Nice. Good old Philly.
Handcrafted in Philadelphia. So for those in the know, traditional style Scandinavian caraway, dill, and other spices. No traditional Nordic meal should be without a glass of aquavit. Now, can you name any traditional Nordic meals besides Swedish meatballs?
Ruskafish.
Lutefisk.
Lutefisk.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know many Scandinavian restaurants. Perhaps there's a reason
I think
why.
New York City has a few.
New York City has nothing anymore.
I know. They had a few. There was a lot of locks.
Mazel tov, bitches.
What do you got going there?
Caraway.
Yeah?
All caraway.
All caraway.
It's like liquid rye bread.
Damn.
Liquid rye bread. There you go.
Wow.
Ooh, it just heat. Like if you ate a piece of liquid rye bread that was on fire.
Nice. But see, I like that because it's from a place, right? It's not just generically made. Like vodka.
Yes. Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia. But it's like Galliano, right? You ever have Galliano? Same idea, right?
I think yeah. Okay.
And it's very specific. Like, people like, there's not like multiple brands of Galliano. There's one. Like Aquavit, I'm sure it's a similar thing, but.
Wow. Just like, oh my God, like so much caraway. It's amazing.
All caraway.
And I just found this next to it, the Petrovka, which we talked about. I think it was last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Which good old Powder Magazine, rest in peace, was talking about as the perfect ski flask beverage. How far did you get here without me?
Oh, I got through the list. And then actually while we were talking, I was looking up other stuff. And I looked up Galliano, and I didn't realize I've heard of a Harvey Wallbanger, but a Harvey Wallbanger is vodka, Galliano, and orange juice.
See, a Harvey Wallbanger is one of those drinks I've always wanted to order at a wedding. It's like an open bar. You're like, oh, the Harvey Wallbanger, please. And they're like, what is that?
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's like was a rum and the rum and coke is with the Cuba Libre, right? Whoever orders
and lime, right?
Yeah, but whoever goes in and says, "I'll have a Cuba Libre," like they're like, "What's in that?"
Dos Cuba Libre, por favor.
Yeah. It turned into a rum and coke because bartenders are some of them are not trained, so it's just like rum and coke. Oh, I know what that is.
Now, if it was a mixologist, they would know.
They'd be like, "This was handcrafted with the rum from my anus," and that's an inside joke. That's a what was that? A Bloody Mary tasting?
That is brutally inside that joke. There's like 2 other people that would get that joke.
Oh my God. It was just so brutal.
And frankly, neither listen to this podcast.
That's right. So we can say whatever we want.
So F them both.
Yeah, but actually I've gone to the dark side. I've actually started embracing the Bloody Mary every once in a while.
100%. That's a no from me, dog. I can't. I tried. I can't. I just the tomato just no verboten. It's just not happening. I can't do it.
Well, with mine, I do the tomato juice right, and then I let the ice melt in there a little bit more. I don't know.
That's even more disgusting. Like everything about the Bloody Mary, I just find vile.
Yeah.
But again, that's just me.
And then the Caesar in Canada is like it's the clamato.
Like,
so you
why?
add a little clam in there too.
Goddamn! I still think about that freaking Tahoe trip. We're drinking that Bud Light Chelada.
The Chelada. We almost vomited. Oh my God, it's so disgusting.
Wow. Yuck.
That was like, it left a bad day. And they still sell that. I saw that out somewhere recently.
Speaking of not disgusting, though, how about the Waffle House unveiling bacon-flavored beer?
You know what? They're making drinking for breakfast like sexy again.
Someone had to. And who better than Waffle House?
They're bringing sexy drinking back.
The Georgia-based Oconee Brewing Company announced this week the upcoming release of a collaboration with Waffle House, the Bacon and Kegs Red Ale. That's some Oscar Wilde-like wordplay right there.
Like that.
Man. 6.5% ABV, dark red in color. The beer also has the unmistakable scent of bacon standing out from the typical medium hop aroma of a red ale. Malty sweetness on the base beer blends perfectly with the salty, savory, and smoky bacon extract to create a delicious and unique beer. Bacon and Kegs pairs well with breakfast food items, obviously, or can be enjoyed as a standalone, soon-to-be iconic beer.
Nice.
6-packs or draft beginning Friday, December 18th. So if you're good, ask
unfortunately,
Santa,
yeah, I looked at this like you can only get it at the brewery, and then it's in Georgia, so Georgia state law prohibits them from shipping. So you actually have to drive in and then illegally drive it out. Kind of like you're going to have to quarantine too before leaving the state, right?
Worth it. The lines have already started forming at the Oconee Brewery. I'm sure there's one asshole in line already. Let's be honest.
See, it's all have and have-nots. People are like worried about shit right now, and other people are like, I'm just worried that I'm not going to get this beer.
You know what? You only get a few years on this this spinning ball here, so you might as well make the most of them.
That's true.
All right. So that wraps up a very long, very knowledgeable episode today. So the gondola.
That would be good for Thanksgiving.
That would be seriously.
You'd be a champion if you bring in some freaking like bacon flavored beer. People are like, yes, we got football, we got turkey, we got bacon flavored beer. What else? What else is left?
Are you ready for some bacon beer? So the gondola is closed again. Everyone is still so happy and so high from the election day victories, the legalization victories that happened in 5 states. We got nothing for the gondola.
I believe I heard a tambourine and a drum circle going on in the gondola, but
yeah,
I haven't opened the door.
Super excited. Contact Buzz. You don't want to go in there. So we're going to roll right into the old ski news. So Mario, you want to kick us off here? Sure.
So first up we have, he came back from the dead, lost Mount Rainier. Hiker starts to recover after rescue in whiteout conditions.
This story is so chilling.
There's going to be a movie on this. So it took dozens of people, searchers, park rangers, nurses. Michael Napinski was out hiking, and he got lost amid freezing whiteout conditions in Mount Rainier National Park last weekend. He was brought back to life in what the medical team is calling a miraculous recovery. So 45-year-old from Woodinville was on a snowy hike with his friends and was separated with them. His friend planned to continue on skis while Napinski snowshoed down toward Paradise where they expected to meet up. And I guess he never turned up. So he says, I'm not sure what happened. I think I fell. And he had bruises and stuff, but, well, that was the other guy, his friend. So he got lost. Napinski got lost. And then when they got to Paradise at the parking lot, his friend reported missing right away. So everybody went out and started searching the next day, and winter conditions still minimize the visibility. So 16 degrees, they said it was down to.
Oof.
So they said he technically died while he was in the ER, which gave them the unique opportunity to try and save his life by basically bypassing his heart and lungs. which is the most advanced form of artificial life support that they have in the world.
Because I know, like my sister-in-law is a nurse, and they say a lot of, like, they always want to cool the body down whenever they're doing any sort of procedure, because they kind of it slows everything down. And again, I don't really know why exactly, but that's like keeping things cold is always a positive thing. So it's almost like if you had to do one or the other, be super cold, super hot. I guess super cold is
right. Getting hurt in the cold, better. So they said the way this thing works is it pumps your blood outside of your body to a heart-lung machine that removes carbon dioxide and then sends it back into the body tissues. So it just kind of bypasses the heart and lungs, and it just goes right through. It's pretty wild, right?
He said he was dead for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Damn.
Maybe this could be the plot for Crank 3.
Oh, it could be.
I'm familiar with the Crank franchise of movies, but
I just saw Crank, the first one.
Crank,
that was enough.
Crank was awesome, and I will tell you, Crank 2, equally, if not more awesome, because it's probably the most ridiculous movie ever. And the second one, they just said, let's be more ridiculous. It worked. This could be Crank 3 right here.
You think they'll ever have a Crank marathon? Just like 1 and 2 back-to-back? 1-2 punch?
I kind of wish they would make it into a TV show, like a Netflix show, and have like 20 episodes.
That's what they should do.
Because you know what? Statham.
Would they get Jason Statham or no?
Dude, you can't do with that Statham. He sells it.
Just saying.
Dude.
You know,
Statham.
you can hear they get it on Netflix or on Prime, and then it's going to be some actor. It's going to be like fucking, I don't know, some idiot that you're going to be like, that's not Jason Statham.
Then I'll say good day.
Good day, sir. I say good day.
The thing is, Statham can sell it. No one else could. The Statham could sell it.
He sold a lot of stuff. What if you merge Crank with the Transporter?
I mean,
right?
Aren't
now
they all
transporting Crank?
Hasn't he pretty much made every one of his movies a little bit Transporter?
Aren't they like all blending together? Like
Transportish.
I'm transporting Crank. I'm cranking transportation. I don't know.
Why don't you add like a little megalodon into that too? The Meg.
Well, that's when they add the third element, which is going to be the next series that he's going to make.
You know what? I think you got to put all the series together. I like that. Yeah, Transporter, the Meg, Crank into like this one super film.
He's transporting a Meg on Crank. I don't know. It's crazy.
They cranked up the Meg, and he's got to transport it.
Yeah.
They cranked up the Meg.
Cranked up the Meg. Or they megged up the Crank.
They megged up the Crank?
It's Meg Crank. It's Super Crank, and he's got to transport stuff. I don't know.
Goddamn. So this guy says his kidneys weren't functioning properly. Because
that's bad shit, man.
His skin was burned from frostbite, but he came back from the goddamn dead. 45 minutes he was dead.
That's when you sit up and while they're working on you, but like, nobody's killing me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They'd be like, it was the scariest and most excellent thing we saw.
It's like the goddamn Undertaker from the WWE, whatever. Yeah.
I wonder, maybe that's the future. He can go into WWE. He can kill the Undertaker and be like, I've been there. I'll resurrect him later. They could have a whole storyline.
He looks like a crazy bastard in this picture of him too.
Oh, they can call him the Undead. That's a good name right there.
Undead, yeah.
The Undead.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Those when those whiteouts happen, just all bets are off.
It's scary. People just, like they say, people have been known to walk in circles. Like, you don't. I remember skiing in like whiteout conditions. Remember when we were in I think it was Switzerland that first day where you had to buy new goggles.
Oh, Ischgl, Austria.
Oh, Ischgl. You had to buy new goggles on day one.
Andrea had to because her goggles got condensation in between the two.
Dude, it wasn't condensation. It was just like pouring in there.
And I was so like, I'm like that dick guy. Like I was just like, are you serious? Like, why can't you just freaking ski? Like, you're ruining my day.
And you're like, here's your goggles.
I give her my goggles and I put hers on. I'm like, holy fucking shit, I can't see anything.
Yeah, she was totally right.
So then I tried skiing without the goggles, and it was like every 2 feet I had to stop. Like it was so bad.
And then you were mad because you gave her your goggles.
Yeah, that was mad.
Oh, that's awesome. And then we're in the ski shop. And did you buy the Snowcat then? Or did you wait?
No, I went to the last day to buy the snowcat,
Yeah.
which Benjamin loves playing with. I will tell you that. It's one of his. He always wants to play with it. I have like a regular Playmobil toy snowcat for him, but he wants to play with this one because it has all the little tiny parts that he can break off.
Like, look, kid, this one's made with real COVID. It's from Ishkill.
Yeah, seriously.
The super spreader nation.
Yeah, it was the super spreader snowcat.
It's the super spreader. Perfect.
All over, yeah. Goddamn, just grooming the virus. All right, so next up, ski resorts that you can rent out. Now, this year, we're all thinking distancing. These people are disgusting. I want to get away from them. How do I do this? Well, why don't you just rent out the goddamn ski resort for the day? Right?
Yeah, this looks awesome.
That's a good idea. Outside Magazine had a nice list of some of the resorts that actually allow this. I mean, it's usually midweek. Keep that in mind. But, you know, if you're a baller, you probably don't work during the week anyway. You know, you work maybe a Saturday, a couple hours in the morning. That's the way to do it. First up, Beaver Mountain near Logan, Utah. Now, Mario, you're going to like this one because you can rent it at night.
Oh,
so you can have private night skiing.
Nice.
$1,200 a day. That's one of the more affordable mountain rental options out there. Terrain is limited with the night lighting, though, so that's something to be aware of.
So if you rent it for 2 days in a row, can you just stay there overnight?
Pretty sure you can.
Because that'd be cheaper than a hotel.
Yeah.
Bring a few sleeping bags in.
Yeah, right? Or your inflatable yurt.
Oh.
Next up, Plattekill, New York. From Monday through Thursday, except for holidays, Plattekill Mountain in Roxbury, New York is available for private mountain rentals for up to 250 people for $4,500 for the day.
This is one we talked about before.
We've definitely talked about this one too because it's really not that far. Family-owned ski area in the Catskills has 4 lifts, 1,100 feet of vertical, and 2-mile-long beginner runs. So north-facing terrain often gets more lake effect snow than other areas in the region, averaging about 175 inches. Then you can tack on some extra bucks if you want to do barbecue, lunch, lodging, equipment, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Anthony Lakes in Oregon. Eastern edge of Oregon,
awesome.
foothills of Elkhorn Mountains is the Anthony Lakes Mountain Resort, a small ski area outside the well-named town of North Powder. You can rent it out for groups of up to 50 people on select Mondays for $6,000, granting you exclusive access for 5 hours to its lone chairlift, the Rock Garden Triple, and 1,100 acres.
That's not bad.
Elevation, person. Base elevation, 7,100 feet. So they often get snow when it's raining elsewhere. And you can take your magic mushrooms while you're there. And no one's going to care. And then one of my favorites, Magic Mountain in Vermont.
Damn.
So they're typically open Thursday through Sunday, plus holiday weeks, and they will open Monday through Wednesday if they receive 6 inches or more snow, which is kind of a cool policy.
So what if you have it rented and you get like a foot dumping? Do they have to open up to everybody? Well, you still have it rented, right? That's what I want to know.
That's like, a really good question. They probably listen, buddy, take another day.
You'd be like Cartman owning the mountain. Be like, no, they can't come in. Yes, you can come in. No, you can't come in.
So because of that closure, they offer full mountain rental for groups and private parties on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, starting at $6,200 for the day.
Nice.
Yeah. It's got 1,500 feet of vertical, 6 lifts, and if the private parties will have access to the Black Line Tavern, which is a fantastic après and food spot. So that would be one of my things. If we get our big sponsor, I think that's one of the things we should make sure we do is rent out Magic for the day.
Oh, yeah. Do an event there.
Yeah. Next up, Pico, the sister mountain of Killington. It can be rented for $8,000 a day on non-holiday Tuesdays and Wednesdays for up to 250 people. We know some people who have done that. Our friends over at Till I Die and Parlor and Ski to East, they've all gone in and set up events
Nice.
that rent out Pico, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Next, Silverton in Colorado. So you can rent out Silverton and enjoy guided skiing before the ski area opens to the general public any day of the week between late November and late December, or for the entire day from Monday through Wednesday, when the mountain is typically closed the rest of the winter. Full mountain rental starts at $9,900 for up to 40 people. But you'll have a private guided access to Silverton's one legendary chairlift and all of its 1,819 acres of rugged terrain. And for a fee, you can add on heli drops in the surrounding 22,000 acres of backcountry.
Damn.
That is awesome. And then there's two more. Next up, Showdown, Montana. Showdown's got 3 chairlifts, and it's $10,000 for up to 50 people. But that includes all-you-can-eat meals and an open bar of beer, wine, and cocktails for all your guests, plus ski and ride lessons, gear rentals, and guides. You'll even get live music from a local band after skiing at no extra charge.
Holy moly.
And for a fee, you can arrange for a catered dinner at a nearby restaurant, lodging for your group, and transportation to the nearby town of White Sulphur Springs for a soak.
That's awesome.
Pretty sweet. And then last, but absolutely not least, Eagle Point, Utah. Eagle Point Resort in the Tusher Mountains near the town of Beaver has unique high alpine terrain that tops out above 10,600 feet and gets 350 inches of snow on average. You can rent the whole mountain, including 5 lifts, 650 acres, and 2 lodges for $15,000 a day, Tuesday through Thursday, for up to 200 people.
Damn.
Boom. So a lot of options. No matter where you are, you can find some awesome rent the mountain resorts in your area.
You know, a lot of people drop a lot of cash on something like a wedding or something like that. What about a big ass party that you can invite your friends from highfalutin ski bums? Drop some cash on that. Like, that sounds good.
Well, I think, aren't we both ordained ministers? So maybe if you want to get married on the mountain.
Yeah, just let us know. We got to take a class. We'll do that.
Pay like $6. Get a license. Good to go.
I had a friend. It depends on the state. I had a friend down here. They are just a notary, and they're allowed to marry people. I'm like, perfect. They notarized the marriage license is really what they did.
Beautiful.
Did a little ceremony, little hop over a broom, crush a glass. That was good.
Perfect.
I don't know how that fits into the same ceremony, but
can make it work. You get ski over the glass, right?
That's right. It was fun. It was quick as hell too.
Here's Mario's dream job here.
That's right. So next up, there is a Swiss ski school hiring a ski slope tester. So applicants of this job must love snow. So there's a Swiss ski school, the Altitude Ski School in the Alpine village of Verbier in Valais Canton, is seeking a skillful skier in its slopes, holding the official title of ski slope tester. So it's still unclear if the chosen candidate will get paid, but who really needs to get paid, right? So Verbier is between Davos and Zermatt, and I think
shitty places.
Yeah. They're pretty crappy. They're run down. But there's like a cool train that runs that whole route, which is pretty neat too. Yeah. I remember looking that up. But yeah, you can apply via Altitude's website, and the lucky candidate will be announced on January 5th. So it's pretty cool. So maybe this is what to do in the pandemic, right? You can be employed and ski all the time in Switzerland. Or you can try to get in with the, COVID quarantines and stuff going on.
Dude, the same article has a link to another story that had a nanny job in Aspen. So nanny with professional ski training experience. Live in Aspen, 6-figure salary to boot.
Boom.
How awesome would that be?
It doesn't suck, right?
Damn, the gig allegedly pays 120 to 135,000 and includes international travel and housing in the Colorado ski resort.
Oh, that sucks.
Eligible candidates must have at least 5 years of experience working in childcare and speak a second language, such as Italian, Spanish, or French. They're also expected to work up to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. All right, so you're busting your ass, but could be pretty awesome.
Breaking my balls.
There is a company called Aspen Nannies, a babysitting referral company in Aspen and Snowmass that bills itself as providing 5-star care with other branches in Breckenridge and Steamboat.
Wow.
My God. God damn.
God
Love
damn. It. I'm trying to apply for this job right now.
Nice.
I'm trying to find the site. I got altitude school.
Make that happen. And we have one last story in here. So a bunch of resorts are starting to open up. We got Killington is open. Well, after this podcast is released, Killington will be open. Cataloochee in North Carolina. We've got Loveland, A-Basin, Wolf Creek out in Colorado. A few others might be opening too. We know we were on the Ski Utah call a couple days ago, and they were talking about they're going to have a few of the resorts opening next week. There was a cool email that came from Parlor Skis, and there's been talk of all the been talking about it all quarantine pretty much about it. How are things going to be when resorts start opening back up? What are people going to do? Obviously, one of the things people are going to start looking at and dipping their toes into is more backcountry skiing. So Parlor put out this first of a 3-part series of emails called Backcountry Basics Part 1. Thinking about starting or doing more uphill travel, start here. And of course, talk about the uncertainty, what to do. Now, they're based in Boston, so this is primarily focused on New England backcountry, and they're considering this email series the New England Backcountry 101. And
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool, yeah. And the big thing that they're talking about is, finding out, and this will go into our main topic too, is go to your local hill and make sure they have an uphill policy and try there. Like start there. Start small, start at your local hill and play by the rules. One cool thing too is they have some links and information. So if you're in, again, New England, in Vermont, they have the Catamount Trail Association, and there are 8 managed backcountry zones in Vermont, which I guess is part of the park system. And it shows, it's got maps, it's got information, precautions, and it's showing you how to get set up. And it's nice because some of these are a little smaller, a little more manageable, and you don't have to go crazy buying really expensive gear or traveling far or, getting over your head right away. There's also in New Hampshire, the Granite Backcountry Alliance, which has a trail system with more information. And one thing they, of course, reiterate is to stay safe, ski slow, and go with a buddy. Good information for everyone who's starting out into the world of backcountry. Because again, a lot of people are going to get out there and a lot of people are going to do it wrong, but it can be a wonderful experience. You can have some of the greatest days, but again, you got to do it right. So there's great information in this email. We'll put it in the show notes. There's no link. Like most emails have that view on the web link.
Yeah, I looked for it in the blog too, and I couldn't find it. So
don't seem to have that. I would think once maybe all 3 are out there, they'll post it on their site. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But all this information talking about country leads us perfectly into our main topic. So we have a great conversation with our new friend Clark Nash, who he actually reached out to us a few weeks ago. We started talking with him, and he's based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. He is currently an AVI 2 certified skier. He is trying to get himself to be to guide status. So he's got a few more tests. He's got to make a sweet ski video.
Yeah.
And he dropped some great knowledge on us about, what people need to do. It's no joke to get that guide level. And
it's a lot of work and a lot of time.
The time, the classes, the testing, the preparation. Give us some great tools, some things to think about, and a bunch of tips for getting people started if they do want to get into the backcountry this season, because this could be the year to do it. So we hope you enjoy this. Here's our interview with Clark. We really hope you enjoyed that. If you want more information or links to the stuff we were talking about on this interview, check us out, skibumpodcast.com.
Cool.
Which one do you want for Under the Ropes?
I can take the Canadian Motorist. I'll take the first one.
Perfect.
I know you love Costco. You're a big Costco.
Yeah.
You're pro Costco.
I'm so pro Costco.
Yeah, I like Costco too. I just don't go as much as you.
All right. And now it is time to go under the ropes. Mario, kick us off.
All right. First up, we have Canadian officials are doing everything they can to urge motorists not to let moose lick their cars. Now, what they say here is rolled salt is kind of like crack to a moose. So I guess they love
what is in that road salt there? Crack?
A crack. It's like crack cocaine. So I guess apparently they're saying it sounds really silly. They actually have signs up. Do not let moose lick your car. Those are instructions, just to try to do that. But they're saying it kind of messes up the moose, because if they have salt on a regular basis, it kind of messes up their well-balanced moose diet, the normal diet. And they're saying it's kind of like crack to a moose, where they can lick salt off the tamarack, but they learned it's just as delicious and probably more concentrated if it comes from somebody's car body panels. So I guess, naturally they try to get salt as a treat and as something to keep them going. They need salt, I guess, for, just to be healthy. But they're saying they realize they're very smart, and they realize, you just lick it off the car. It's, easier that way. So they say tourists are compounding the problem by traveling to the area specifically to give the Rocky Mountain Car Wash a shot.
People are such dicks.
They are dicks. This is just how we just are fucking everything up. So they're saying a moose licking a RAV4 is social media gold. So Canadian officials have taken measures to keep moose away from cars and keep people away from moose. So they're saying starting in 2020, motorists are no longer allowed to leave their car if they encounter wildlife at all in Jasper National Park. And those who feed, enter, or disturb wildlife risk receiving a 25,000 Canadian dollars citation, which is about 20,000 US.
I think it's like $1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they're saying 20,000 US.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell did Trump do to the goddamn dollar?
Well, it's only 30%. Yeah, that should be more than that.
What did goddamn Trudeau do to that magical Canadian loony?
So, they're saying people should try to scare the moose off by honking their horn, but never attempt to push it away. Who the fuck is going to get out and be like, yeah, come on, moose, I'm going to push you away. That's right. I can see my cousin Vinny getting out with his fucking Cavaricis and want to fight with the moose.
Taking a crowbar, tire iron with him. Yeah.
Come here, you fucking moose. And then that moose just gouging the shit out of him.
It's like being like, I'm going to use my Prius to push this tractor trailer into a ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that, friend.
That moose is like, I'm letting you just sit in that car. Just shut up and let me lick this.
So does America have this problem, or is just the magical Canadian super salt they have over there?
It depends where you go too. Like if they use salt or not, right? Some places don't use salt. They use
sand or something.
Yeah, they just do sand, and you have to have snow tires. So I guess it depends. I guess they put salt down, and I was like, good, got our salt, man.
Licking cars. Yeah.
But it's funny, they got signs on the road, do not let them lick your car. What the hell?
All right. Well, the comment on this, the top rated article, comment on this article says, "Oh dear, this is sodium funny, but that $20,000 fine would make me salty." I mean, That's just zinger after zinger there.
Oh, that person really thought about that. Like they just come so easily.
They really did. God damn it. So watch out, you Canadians. Don't be letting the moose lick your car.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, Costco. They are now offering private jet membership, which is phenomenal. They are.
It's about like a 4-pack of jets, or
you just buy a jet. Yeah, it just comes. You just right in the aisle next to.
You can't buy one. You got to buy like 4. They give you the little card to take up, ring that up. You put it on the back, you get your jets.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so we get the gift cards, same thing. It's like a jet. So $17,500, you get a 1-year membership with Wheels Up, which is a charter jet company. And they tout that their service as being as easy as ride sharing. So here's what you get for $17,500. In addition to the 1-year membership, you get a $3,500 Costco shop card and $4,000 in-flight credits. The package also includes a 1-year membership to Inspirato, which offers luxury vacation rentals.
Damn.
So Wheels Up has more than 300 planes in its fleet and 1,250 more with partner companies. There's access to an aircraft pretty much year-round.
So I like how they say you also get with it the $3,500 Costco shop card and $4,000 in flight credits.
So what is a normal subscription to Wheels Up then?
I don't know.
Because that kind of makes
Inspirato does the luxury rentals. Then they got other swag, whatever. For one, so does that mean you can use it all year, like anytime,
every day,
as much as you
fly
want?
Every day, right?
Yeah, if you have off of work, I want to go somewhere else. I got to see how this works. What are the limitations? I want to see the fine print.
There's got to be some fine print.
I don't see any goddamn fine print in this article. I'm going to Costco. I'm logging in. I'm buying some shit.
Their website is, of course, talking about, how clean everything is and blah, blah, blah. I just want to know, what is the cost of this membership?
Would it be under travel? Or
Here
would it
we
be
go.
under membership?
Membership options. All right, so there's a one-time initiation fee of $3,000. Then you have dues of $24.95 starting at year 2.
Where'd you find this?
On their website. If you go to the membership options and then membership comparison.
On Costco?
No, wheelsup.com.
Wheels Up. No, I want to buy that shit in Costco.
But now, if it's a core membership, because there's different kinds of memberships. And this article doesn't even link to Costco's website.
That article is like TMZ. It's trash.
Yeah, of course, it's got
It's muff cabbage.
Super muff cabbage.
Let's see.
I'm trying to understand this.
So it's funny, like Melanie and I are watching Billions. We're catching up on that. And they have the scene where he says goodbye to his wife and his wife, oh yeah, we should go together. He's like, no, I got some stuff to do. You do your own thing. And they get into the his and hers jets, little G5s waiting for them. I'm like, damn, that's the way to go.
That's the way to do it, right?
It's just gonna fly up. I'll be back later for dinner.
Yeah, you definitely can't get the Connect membership. You got to get the core membership. $17,500 one-time initiation fee, $8,500 in dues, and then you can actually get a guaranteed Wheels Up King Air 350i. I mean, I don't know how else one could travel besides the 350i.
So wait, you get the King Air once in a while. That's the big one. Right?
I don't understand how this works. So you get this service. Do you get anything with this, or is this just your ability to
so poor? I can't even understand the fucking website.
I'm so poor and stupid. Please help me.
This is made for rich people. Like, get the codes for them. They're like, oh yes, I know exactly how this works.
I want to fly private.
God damn it!
I hate being poor.
God damn it! Help me. Yeah, Connect membership. It's as available. But is that as available like anytime you want to go?
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you still like say tomorrow I'm gonna go to Telluride? Like,
Every goddamn day.
have I already paid for it, or do you got to pay like an extra $15,000 to fly, like the cost of the flight? And you must, right? There's no way anything's really included for that cheap of a
So
price.
the core membership, it says 300 days of King Air 350i guaranteed for core membership, and 330 days of King Air guaranteed for business membership. So you're guaranteed of getting a plane every day.
But you can't actually fly every day.
Well, maybe you can. Everybody's remote. Like, where are you today?
I paid for this goddamn membership. I'm going to use it every goddamn day as an experiment.
What'd you do over the weekend? I just fucking flew around. I don't know. I don't know where I was going. I just had to use my membership. It's going to waste.
But then, again, you have the membership, but then you have to pay for the flight wherever you're going. I would think.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think this is all just...
I don't know. So that's just the membership.
God damn, that Citation X is like the size of a Suburban. It's a small goddamn car.
Dude, I took a hopper from Tampa to West Palm Beach, and it was a Cessna. I mean, it was fucking tiny, and it was great weather. So I was like, this is fine. And you feel like you're floating around and stuff like that. But literally, they walk up to everybody before the flight. They're like, can you tell me how much you weigh? And like, it's funny. I was like looking at people, and like the women are like, what do you mean how much I weigh? It's like, no, I need to know how much you weigh. And they took everybody's stuff, they weighed it, and they're like, they had to balance it in the plane. So it's funny. It's like old style of flying. It's like, we got to balance everybody in the plane. Like fat people, we got to have 2 fat people. You can't go just one. We need like 2 really fat people. If you're going on, you got to sit next to each other in the middle of the plane.
Dude, I'm looking at this this King Air 350 they're talking about. Dude, they're showing like golf clubs behind the engine. Like there's a flap behind the engine for storage. Like they're using every square inch to store stuff.
Dude, that's exactly what I flew.
Oh,
I had no
goddamn God.
I had no baggage, but it was like that's exactly what I flew in. It was like Southern Air or something like that. And we flew into like the airport that Trump flies into at Palm Beach.
Huge.
Right next to it. And I'm like, you fly up and like the terminal's right there. You walk off the plane, you walk past like some baller ass fucking private jets, and boom, you're in this little terminal. They're like, so this is a terminal that operates for people like not in a big hustle and bustle terminal. It was like I showed up like five minutes before the flight. They're like, how much do you weigh? I'm like 185, 180, whatever. And they're like, then they start asking everybody like, okay, let's get on. And everybody gets on. And as you're walking out, they're like telling you what seat you're sitting in. They're like, okay, your seat assignment is number 5, number 6. There's 12
just to
seats.
Balance things out. The guy's doing like math.
Yeah. He's like calculating up. All right, we'll put this person there, that person there. Like, yeah, but I want to sit next to them. No, you can't. That's not going to happen.
Does not fit into the algorithm.
Unless he's losing 10 pounds, he's not sitting next to you, honey.
So crazy.
Citation XL. The Citation X.
This is...
Citation X looks like the Mac Daddy right there.
You know, it's got to be the worst thing ever. Imagine you were rich and you were able to fly private everywhere, and then all of a sudden you lost your fortune, like Schitt's Creek-ish.
Yeah.
Ever fly private again? Like, I feel like it would almost be better to not have ever flown private and to have to go back to like dealing with the cretins.
Well, maybe Warren Buffett's smart. He's like, if I lose my money, I know I'm fine. You live the same way.
Because I always have this tremendous fear of like having to go back to the way I used to do things, you know, because as you get older, you get kind of used to certain things.
Yeah. Can't go back, man.
Like imagine like, you know, when you have to like share a hotel with your friends, like a bunch of people, there's like 5 people in a room.
Or like, ski houses, like share houses. Yeah. After a while, you're like, I'm tired of fucking share house rooms with people. Like,
I'm a fucking grown up.
Yeah. At some point, you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old.
Yeah, exactly.
Get too old for this shit.
I feel like what this is, you know, like, again, you're flying private, you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you got to go in that goddamn TSA filth checkpoint. And
bunch of fucking cattle. just prodding you to the goddamn get on the bus. Get on the Airbus and fucking
fatso next to you taking their shoes off and you smell their stinky
taking a goddamn shit in the seat next to you. Who knows what they're doing?
Rolls of fat pouring over that little divider onto you. Like, disgusting.
And he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, sorry is not going to help you lose fucking 200 pounds right now to sit in your seat.
Let me move my flap back into my seat.
Pardon me, it's my flap on you. I'll just take that away.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Just disgusting.
I was having a conversation with it, but if you want to take it away, go right ahead.
It was keeping me warm on this cold flight.
Oh, God damn.
Give him a blanket.
Oh, it's a fat blanket. It's a flat blanket.
Goddamn gross.
God damn. A fat, flat
Did
blanket.
you ever watch F is for Family?
No.
It's like the Bill Burr a cartoon on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, the one guy is like just so fat, he lost all this weight, and his like skin just like friggin' hangs over it. He's like,
that's the worst part.
He's like, I named my leftover skin flap Stanley.
Oh, jeez.
Like falls out of his pants and stuff. It's like so gross.
God damn.
But funny.
That's bad.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the old podcast for the week. Thanks again to Clark for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped, at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting app, rate, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Buy some stuff, skibumpodcast.com/shop. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you again so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay polluting.
See ya.